Welcome back to KBC Lunchtime News. My name is Njue. Many thanks indeed for joining us. Susan Thuku will be my sign language interpreter for this live newscast. Straight to the news, Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki says Kenya will elevate to first-class world status within a generation, drawing parallels with South Korea, Malaysia and Singapore. The DP said that it is poised for similar success within 20 to 30 years. While at the 14th Development Partners Forum in Karen, Nairobi, the DP reaffirmed the government's commitment to the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, which prioritizes people, partnerships and technology as the pillars of development. He also cited national security, integrity and the rule of law as key fundamental elements for sustainable transformation.
Public sector resources are not enough for the kind of needs that our nations have. And therefore, we will leverage on private sector partnerships with the public sector to get adequate resources to achieve our objectives. I want to assure every Kenyan that there is no need to panic.
Moving on, learners in day secondary schools across Kiharu constituency are set to enjoy major relief after Area Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro announced a significant reduction in school fees under the Kiharu Masomo Bora program sponsored by the local NGCDF. Under the new arrangement, students in public day secondary schools will now pay less than 500 per term, down from 1,000 shillings that had previously been levied since the program was established. Speaking during the launch of this year's program at the Maragi Primary School in Kiharu, Nyoro said the revised fee structure will benefit more than 12,000 learners drawn from grade 10, Form 3 and Form 4 who are enrolled in 65 day secondary schools within the constituency.
Form 3 and 4 in all the day secondary schools in Kiharu, which are around 65, covering 12,000 learners, that the school fees in Kiharu is only 500 shillings per term, and the learners will take lunch in school from Monday to Saturday. Tumeweka 10 million shillings of buying revision books for our day secondary schools. Tumeweka 50 million shillings ya kuweka mambo ya infrastructure kama laboratories in our day secondary schools.
Still on matters education, parents and candidates of Kaboyek Adventist Secondary School in Soin Sub-County, Kericho County, are disputing the school's results in the 2025 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education examinations, calling on the Kenya National Examination Council to urgently verify the results. The candidates, accompanied by their parents, say the results released by NEC do not reflect the performance in class and continuous assessment tests. The Parents Teachers Association Chairman Collins Terrell, the parents argue that the grades are inconsistent with the students' academic records. One of the candidates, Solomon Oluoch, who spoke on behalf of the 65 students, expressed disappointment, saying they had worked hard and consistently performed well in previous assessments. According to the released results, the best candidates scored a C grade. 5 attained C-, 27 scored D-, plus 25 got D plain, while 7 scored D-. Parents George Olima and Winfrida Oluoch say the situation has taken an emotional toll on both students and families, noting that counseling their children has not been easy. The parents and students are now urging NEC to conduct an immediate verification and take corrective action.
The candidates, accompanied by their parents, said the results released by NEC do not reflect their performance in class and continuous assessment test. The Parents Teachers Association Chairman Collins Terrell, the parents urges that the grades are inconsistent with the students' academic records.
The CEO for NEC to address our grievances and take the necessary corrective measures to remedy the situation at the earliest opportunity possible. In the meantime, and on behalf of the parents, I want to appeal. We appeal to the parent and students to remain calm as the matter is being handled.
One of the candidates, Solomon Oluoch, who spoke on behalf of the 65 students, expressed disappointment, saying they had worked hard and consistently performed well in previous assessments.
This particular exam results has shocked us. We therefore appeal to NEC to look into the issue and take corrective measures the soonest time possible so that we can know our fate.
According to the release results, the best candidate scored a C grade, 5 attained C minor, 27 scored D plus, 25 got D plain, while 7 recorded D minus. Parents George Olima and Winfrida Oluoch say the situation has taken an emotional toll on both students and families, noting that counseling their children has not been easy.
Mtoto wangu tangu alipoanza shule kutoka kitatu cha kwanza, hakuna siku aliwaipata C. So hiyo mtihani ambayo ilitoka tuliona hata mtoto wangu alikata, hata mimi nilimkataza nikamwambia hiyo sio mtihani yako. So tunaomba waziri wa elimu waangalie mtihani wa Kabokiek Adventist na waiangalie vizuri na watupe mtihani ya watoto wetu.
The parents and students are now urging NEC to conduct an immediate verification and take corrective action. Case Kimirei for Lunchtime News.
And away from education matters, a missing Mount Kenyan porter who disappeared during a climbing expedition has been confirmed dead, with an autopsy showing he died of asphyxiation. 35-year-old Samuel Masharia went missing on December the 23rd while guiding 2 Japanese tourists alongside 4 other guides on Mount Kenya. His body was later recovered at Hinder Valley at an altitude of about 4,300 meters above sea level. A post-mortem conducted at the Nanyuki Teaching and Referral Hospital found that Masharia had no physical injuries and all his organs were intact, with lack of oxygen identified as the cause of death.
Tulimpata last Friday na tukapangiwa tukuje leo ndio afanywe postmortem, na hiyo postmortem amefanywa na tumefurahi kwa sababu hakuna kitu tumeona yeye alikuwa amekosa oxygen, ndio maana alipumzika, alipatikana huko kwa mlima kama ameaga, na tunashukuru Mungu kwa sababu tumelia kwa muda mrefu na tulikuwa tumeshindwa tutaenda wapi, tutafanya nini. Ni kwa sababu tumemtafuta karibu kwa moshari zote na hatukuwa tumempata.
Moving on, Westlands Member of Parliament Timothy Wanyonyi has handed over 2 fully operational boreholes to North Highridge Comprehensive Secondary School and Westlands Comprehensive School in Parklands and Highridge wards. This initiative aims to curb the water shortage that the schools have been experiencing that led to disruption of learning and straining of schools' resources. Speaking during the handover ceremony, the legislator noted that the boreholes equipped with pumps, electrical control system and solar power installations were drilled and installed during the Christmas holiday period while schools were closed, ensuring minimal disruption to learning. Wanyonyi added that the boreholes would provide a lasting solution not only for the schools but also for the surrounding community.
To our children, so that they can learn in a good environment. These are the future of this country. As we prepare them, we must give them the best education, so that when they leave here, they can go to any place and compete effectively with other children from other parts of this country. And we can only do that when they have a good learning environment.
We will be able to accomplish so many things in the school. The school will be cleaner than before. Because before we were sparing the little water we were getting to wash the washrooms to clean the compound, to do the cooking, and so many other things. But now, since the water is available all the time, we will be able to accomplish so many things using that water.
We are expecting an expanded enrollment in the school, and now with the availability of water in this school, there is a lot that is going to be done. We know water is life, and because of this, water is going to be a major resource in this school. Our environment will never be the same again because the school will be more cleaner. The school will have plenty of water for the facilities that we are having.
And still on the crucial liquid, efforts to address persistent water shortages at the coast have received a major boost after Coast Water Works Development Agency completed repairs and upgrades of key water infrastructure in the Baricho area of Kilifi County. The upgraded facilities, which serve as a major water source for the coastal zone, are expected to significantly improve water availability to major towns including Mombasa, Kilifi and Malindi. And according to Coast Water Engineer in charge of the Baricho wells, Silas Kahindi, the installation of modern infrastructure has led to increased water levels and improved distribution efficiency, greatly reducing frequent water cuts that have affected residents for years.
Ni kwanza ni wiki ya Christmas hadi saa hii maji yako vizuri sana. Tunashukuru. Kwa hivyo tunaomba watu wa Malindi wote na Kilifi wote wajibike mapema kulipa bili zao za maji.
Recently we did some sort of improvements or some rehabilitations where we added one of the boreholes which was not running. So currently the water supply is stable in Malindi, Kilifi and Mombasa. So as we talk now, the issue of rationing is we don't have some rationing currently.
Shifting gears to matters politics now, where a conglomerate of political parties under the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition has called for the immediate resignation of Minority Leader Njue Mohammed from the position of Minority Leader, and Secretary General of the coalition, led by National Liberal Party leader Dr. Augustus Muli. The parties have criticized Njue's remarks against the coalition's patron and former President Uhuru Kenyatta, terming them unfounded and dangerous. The parties have backed allegations that Njue misappropriated funds meant for Azimio agents in the 2022 elections and now want Kenyatta to convene an emergency summit of the coalition to chart the way forward post-ODM exit from Azimio.
We, however, express our profound concern over the continued, reckless, and defamatory utterances by some Azimio la Umoja One Kenya officials, and especially one Honorable Njue Mohammed, which slander the name and legacy of the former President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. We, as Azimio parties, place it on record without ambiguity that the former president served this nation with dignity, protecting Kenya's territorial integrity, upholding national cohesion, and shepherding a peaceful transition of power. Any attempt to diminish this record is both dishonest and an affront to the millions of Kenyans who lived through that stewardship. In light of these developments, we, as Azimio parties, hereby demand the immediate retirement of Honorable Junet Mohammed from all Azimio leadership positions.
Away from politics, 2 grade 10 learners at the Cardinal Otunga Boys High School in Kisii County who had been erroneously placed in a girls' school in the Western region have finally been admitted to the school after the matter was resolved. Elsewhere in Samburu County, parents are decrying the high cost of taking their children to grade 10 amidst tough economic times.
Admission to grade 10 entered day 3 on Wednesday, with schools across the country receiving more learners.
We did a request yesterday for some students who had reported with our letter, yes, but they were not among those, the 500, those who were given chances in this school. So we did a request through the system. Unfortunately, today morning when we were checking, some of them had been declined.
2 boys who had been erroneously placed at Cardinal Otunga Girls' School in Bungoma County finally got placement at Cardinal Otunga Boys High School in Kisii County.
We worked closely with the ministry headquarters, and already they were placed here, and they have already one of the 2 has reported, and that is a plus because the pressure the parent had concerning the issue had already been sorted.
The school management has said that due to a recent retooling exercise, the school is well prepared to handle learners under the various pathways.
The grade 10 learners, as a school, we are ready. I want to thank the TSC that organized for the retooling exercise over the August holiday, as well as the December holiday. We have subjects, yes, we don't have, but through the Chief Principal's office, we have liaised with the neighboring polytechnics and TVETs, like Network. We have already liaised with them to assist us handle the subject.
Elsewhere in Samburu County, parents are still grappling with financial constraints as they prepare learners to join grade 10.
Saa hii hata ukienda kuuliza kitabu, exercise book is just 120 pages. Ina cost 120. Na tunanuanga na 80 bob. Surely.
Budget imenishinda, ile mfuko nilikuwa nayo haitoshi.
Vitu enye wameitisho ni nyingi sana, na nilikuwa nategemea mifugo yangu. Mifugo isimeibiwa. Sasa ninashindwa hii gharama hii ya leo hii, mahali tutafikisha watoto wetu.
Some of them have been forced to sell their livestock at throwaway prices to buy books and school uniform.
Uchumi umetuzidi, imekuwa so hard. Kwa sababu hata leo nilikuwa na mbuzi karibu 5, ndio huyu mtoto aende kwa shule. Imagine mbuzi yenye tunausanga 7,000, sasa hivi tunaambiwa 4,000. Hata ndio tumeshindwa, tumerusha zingine. Tuko hapa tu tukihangaika.
Hiyo mfugo yangu hata watoto wamemaliza. Tumeuza wote. Saa hii tena kwa hata ya kuusia hakuna. Hata kupeleka moja unakosa hata pesa ya kuuza naye. Unakuta unauza na 3,000 ama shilingi 2,000.
Hii haiko vizuri, wasasi wanalia sana juu ya pesa. Hata kuna wengine tunawakopesha juu ni watu wetu na wako chini kabisa. Hata biashara ya mifugo imekuwa chini, hakuna pesa.
Nancy Okware, Lunchtime News.
Now, business owners at Prime Clean Shine near Nyayo Stadium are counting heavy losses after bulldozers escorted by over 2,000 police officers demolished the premises early this morning. The property is allegedly linked to Kiambu County Governor Kimani Wamatangi. The demolition began at 3 a.m., leaving shops and goods worth millions in rubble. Supporters of the governor have condemned the exercise, calling it politically motivated, while affected traders appeal for government intervention. Many were left with their livelihood destroyed, raising concerns over the impact of small business owners. Moving on, a section of leaders in the Ukambani region has faulted politicians trying to slow down the settlement of hundreds of homeowners who reside in Kenya Commercial Bank land previously owned by East Africa Portland Cement Company. Led by Mavoko lawmaker Patrick Macau, the leaders accused a local politician of hijacking the agreement for self-gain. They claim the locals are being overcharged for the politician to get a cut in the deal brokered at the tail end of negotiations. He urged the homeowners not to be swayed by political rhetoric that might cost them their pieces of land in the end. However, KCB agent project manager Njue has termed the allegations as far-fetched, saying the land was being sold to willing sellers at terms and conditions set by the lender.
Kila kitu Portland tukasikizana watu walipe 700 ile plot 50 by 100. Watu wakaanza kulipa vizuri. KCB ikakuja kwa sababu wanajua weakness ya huyu mtu, wakaenda wakamwambia wewe nyamaza, tutalipisha 2.5 million kwa the same plot ya 700 na wewe milioni 1 ni yako.
Tuondoe siasa katika jambo hili na tuondoe wanasiasa tafadhali. Kaeni kando kwa sababu hili ni shamba la KCB na ni KCB process ndio yani sisi ni team yenye tumewekwa hapa na KCB kusuluhisha hili jambo. Sasa wanasiasa tafadhali ningeomba tu mkae mbali na imani.
At about 20 minutes past the top of the hour, let's take a quick look at the cabinet. And this afternoon, we highlight the lives and times of former cabinet minister Elijah Mwangale.
Elijah Mwangale was born in Matili in what was then Bungoma district, 1938. His father was a church elder who valued education and discipline. He began his education at Chesamisi Primary School. At intermediate level, dissatisfied with the school, Mwangale briefly crossed into Uganda to continue his studies before returning home. He was later enrolled in a school in Mombasa, where he developed an interest in agriculture. That interest led him to Egerton College near Nakuru, where he pursued a diploma in agriculture. Mwangale was among 3 students who received sponsorship to pursue degree studies at Virginia University in the US, on condition they would return to teach at Egerton. While in the US, Mwangale obtained both bachelor's and master's degrees. On returning to Kenya, he taught at Egerton College, later entered politics. Mwangale rose to national prominence as the Member of Parliament for Bungoma East during Jomo Kenyatta's presidency. In Parliament, he was outspoken and frequently critical of government, often clashing with then Vice President Daniel Arap Moi. His political trajectory changed following the assassination of Josiah Mwangi Kariuki, popularly known as JM, whose body was found on the Ngong Hills on 2nd March 1975. Parliament appointed an 11-member committee to investigate the killing. Mwangale was named committee chair. The committee's report recommended that 2 senior state officials be investigated by police. When the committee was summoned to State House, 1 member remained behind with an original copy of the report. In Parliament, Mwangale raised concerns that the report tabled differed from the committee's findings. Speaker Fred Marty ruled that the matter could be addressed during debate. However, amid fears of detention without trial, the debate never occurred. During voting, Vice President Moi, Attorney General Charles Jonjo and their allies urged members to note and not adopt the report. Despite this, Cabinet Minister Masinde Muliro and his assistant Peter Kibiso voted against the government. Both were dismissed the same day. Mwangale moved the motion to adopt the report. From this episode, the nickname chairman became permanently associated with him. Following the 1979 general election, the first under Moi's presidency, Mwangale was appointed Minister for Labour. He later served in the ministries of Tourism and Wildlife, Foreign Affairs and Agriculture. He emerged as the most influential cabinet minister from Luhyaland after Moses Mudavadi and became a leading figure among the so-called Kanu hoax. After publicly discrediting the 1988 Mlolongo elections, Mwangale was transferred to the Ministry of Agriculture, while Robert Oka took over Foreign Affairs. The introduction of multi-party politics in 1992 marked the end of his political dominance. He lost the Bungoma East seat to Mukisa Kitui by a landslide. An attempt to revive his career through appointment as chairman of the Kenya Bureau of Standards was unsuccessful. Mwangale died in 2004, aged 66. Jackie Wambiru, The Cabinet.
And Elijah Mwangale's biography and, of course, how he did his work and, of course, the politics that surrounded those times during the Moi era. That story takes us to our first break. But when we come back, I still have more stories to run you through. I will tell you how the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup went yesterday and two teams that are playing tonight.
Hautaabudu yoyote wala kuelekeza ibada yoyote kwa mwingine asiyokuwa Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bali ibada zako zote utakuwa mwenye kumwelekezea Allah. Unapokuwa na matatizo yoyote utakuwa mwenye kumkimbilia Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Masharti haya ni kuwa na imani ya neno lile, useme neno ambalo huna imani nalo.
Mama mbele yono kuwasomea somo la asma arnabon songora أسعد سم أنا وسلم دائما أبدا على حالي.
Kusahona nafanya googling natembea in front of my husband hapo.
Kwani wewe kasuku?
Wewe
mimi ile heshima hata nilikuwa na kuheshimu madam, naona hakuna haja.
Hata mimi hapana kuheshimu
wewe.
Mwingine
huu kwanza ndo jini mkatakamba mheshimiwa.
Mimi nilileta majini saa ngapi?
Hiyo mimi ilikuwa napenda yeye. Unajua penda nataka kutuanga. Lakini
hiyo mapenzi yako ni tofauti.
Namna gani hata wewe iko fanya googling yeye, alafu wewe na fundisha yeye nafanya jigli yangu.
Why did you bring temptation kwa nyumba za wenyewe?
Yes.
Hakuna temptation imeletwa.
Welcome back to Lunchtime News. Moving on, 3 prison wardens have been convicted by the anti-terror court at Kahawa in Kiambu for aiding the escape of 3 convicted terrorists from Kamiti Maximum Security Prison. Senior Principal Magistrate Boaz Ombewa, in his judgment, ruled that the escape was deliberate and well planned. The officers will remain in custody pending sentencing that is scheduled for next week. Our court reporter has more.
The conviction of 3 prison wardens is linked to the 2021 escape of the 3 terror convicts from Kamiti Maximum Security Prison. Senior Principal Magistrate Boaz Ombewa found that the officers deliberately failed to follow prison procedures, facilitating the escape of Musharraf Abdallah, Mohammed Ali Abikar, and Joseph Juma Odhiambo, who were serving terrorism-related sentences. The court convicted Willie Wambua on counts of aiding prisoners to escape and neglect of duty, Robert Kipiroi Soy on neglect of official duty, and Charles Mutembe Gerald on separate procedural offence. 9 other officers were acquitted due to insufficient evidence. The magistrate noted that the escape was well coordinated and could not have occurred without internal assistance.
By noting that it appears from the totality of the evidence
that the escape was clearly well planned and must have taken a considerable amount of time to execute.
The officers will be remanded at Kiambu Maximum Prison in a week they are sentencing on 20th January 2026. Elsewhere, 2 men accused of forging land documents worth 5 billion Kenya shillings were presented before a Nakuru court where they denied charges of forgery, false swearing or obtaining land by false pretenses in relation to a 4,296-hectare parcel in Mau Narok, Njue Sub-County, linked to the exit of the late Cabinet Minister Njue Koinange. The court released them on a cash bail of 2 million Kenya shillings or an alternative cash bail of 1 million Kenya shillings.
Walikuwa wamegrab hiyo shamba yote kujitengenezea document. Na hiyo yote serikali imefuatilia na wakaona ukweli kwamba hii watu wanadanganya serikali na wanajidanganya wenyewe.
To some politics now, where the Busia County top leadership has accused the county senator Okiya Omtata of allegedly sabotaging government projects through court battles led by the county boss Dr. Paul Otuoma. The leaders say the unending court cases filed by Omtata on projects such as the Malaba Modern Market and the affordable housing in Busia continue to derail development in the region.
TC in Busia town during the launch of the Digital Access Program Phase 2, Busia County Governor Dr. Paul Otuoma challenged Senator Omtata to instead use his Senate mandate in doing oversight in a more transparent way.
Now, miradi yote ya serikali ni kupinga. Tuko na auditor general ambaye ana audit entities za serikali zote. Wewe umejifanya hata wewe unajua audit kuliko auditor general. What do you want, Senator Omtata? What do you want?
Because all you are doing is fighting the county government, fighting. Program ya vijana, fighting. Program ya soko, fighting. Program ya housing, fighting. Program ya kutengeza town, fighting. When are you going also to build something that will benefit the people of Busia?
Meanwhile, governors from the Western region have endorsed the decision by the Orange Democratic Movement's Central Management Committee to initiate negotiations with the United Democratic Alliance ahead of the 2027 general polls.
For us, the three of us who are in ODM, we support our current party leader.
We support the decision of the Central Management Committee, led by our party leader, Dr. Buru, where the party has officially mandated the Central Management Committee to initiate discussions for a possible coalition between ODM and UDA.
Elsewhere, the Mbere North Member of Parliament, Leonard Wamuthende, has expressed confidence in the ruling UDA party of once again sweeping MCA positions in Evurore and Momenji wards in the upcoming by-elections.
Mimi hapa niko tayari. Ulipokuja last time hapa hakukuwa na mbunge. Sasa Wamuthende yuko. Na mimi nakwambia hapa utaona viongozi, ulisema watu wamekuja. Hapa ni mimi Wamuthende versus Wamunyoro. Leta watu wako mimi waangushe. MCA wote wawili watachaguliwa UDA.
The seats fell vacant after Duncan Boy of Evurore and Newton Karish of Muminji relinquished their seats to vie in the parliamentary race, but lost to the UDA's Leonard Wamuthende. John Kiharu for Lunchtime News.
In other news, the family of Raphael Mwandikwa, who died after a building under construction collapsed in Karen, is demanding compensation and justice for their loved one. The family says since the death of Mwandikwa, they have not received any communication from either the owner of the building or relevant authorities.
It was a somber mood at the Nairobi City Mortuary as the family of the late Raphael Mwandikwa, who died after a building under construction collapsed in Karen, await the post-mortem results of their loved one.
Around 4:50 ndio nilipiga bado simu yake tena. Ikashikwa na jamaa fulani, sikumbuki jina lake. Akaniambia, nikamuuliza mwenye simu ako wapi. Akaniuliza wewe ni nani kwake? Nikamwambia mimi ni bibi yake. Akaniambia huyu jamaa amepata ajali na ni kama ameatuacha.
The family says they still have many unanswered questions on the death, with those expected to give them answers going mute on them.
Hakuna mtu yeyote amewasiliana, contractor, foreman wote, hata mwenye nyumba hawajawasiliana. Bado tunangoja tuone kama watatufikia.
Raphael's wife, Rachel, said her husband was the breadwinner and is appealing to well-wishers for financial support.
Mimi niko na watoto wadogo, niko jobless. Huyu ndiye alikuwa breadwinner. So mimi naomba tu wajitokeze, we just have a seat na tujue Raphael atapata aje justice.
The body is at City Mortuary and will be laid to rest on 24th January at his home in Kitui County. The ill-fated building caved in on Saturday, killing 2 people and injuring.
Hope that he gets justice. The Eastleigh business community has distanced itself from allegations linking businesses in the Eastleigh area to the Minnesota scandal in the United States. Through their chair, Ahmed Sheikh Abdullahi, the leaders termed former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua's remark as hostile, saying that on the contrary, the construction of the BBS commercial building in the area was financed through local banks.
The livelihoods of thousands of Kenyans will not be sacrificed to political opportunism or social media propaganda. If any individual or business has broken the law, let investigations be conducted by the appropriate institutions and let evidence be presented before courts of law.
Time to make sense of business. NCBA Group and automotive distributor Njue inked a deal aimed at making farm mechanization more accessible and affordable to families and farmers across the country. NCBA Group Director for Asset Finance and Business Solutions, Lennox Mugambi, says the partnership introduces a tailored asset financing solution offering farmers financing of up to 95% of the tractor cost, support for farm implements, and access to working capital to boost operational efficiency. Here's Nduta Mukami with more details.
Agriculture contributes about 21% of the gross domestic product, yet continues to rely heavily on manual labor, limiting productivity and scale. Under the arrangement, farmers can access financing of up to 95% of the cost of a tractor, alongside financing for up to 2 farm implements, such as plows, boom sprayers, or balers.
We have now a model that is designed for our terrain, and also parts and genuine parts that are designed to give the truck a long run, so that you don't have to stop mid-crop or mid-harrowing. So New Holland is the best product we can offer from an agri-business and agriculture point of view.
Business customers will also be eligible for up to 500,000 shillings in working capital to support farm operations after purchase. Unlike conventional agricultural loans, the financing model has been structured to reflect the seasonal nature of farming. Repayment periods can run for up to 60 months, with flexible repayment plans aligned to harvest cycles.
Consumer education in terms of educating farmers to know how to manage their finances, that then they will be eligible for financing, is one thing that we need to work on.
All tractors financed under the program will be insured through NCBA Bank Assurance Intermediary Limited, providing protection for both farmers and the bank throughout the asset's lifespan.
We believe that taking a bold step at the beginning of the year will help us now catalyze that ownership of agricultural equipment and increase it to the level we've seen with commercial vehicles. And hopefully by end of year we'll be talking about 70,000 for tractor farmers, because then that will help us as a country enhance food security.
Ndutamokami for Lunchtime News.
Elsewhere, cotton farmers in the cotton value chain are set to benefit from a cotton revitalization program initiated by the government in conjunction with the private sector. The expanded program, which involves plans to supply BT cotton seeds to farmers, has started in Lamu County. Principal Secretary for Agriculture, Dr. Paul Rono, assured farmers that the government is fully committed to ensuring they access high-quality seeds to increase productivity and improve incomes. Alan Lewis Aoko has more details on this.
The Kenya Investments Authority indicates that cotton production had reached 37 metric tons in 2022 and domestic consumption at 10,000 metric tons. To date, government support has included the distribution of BT cotton seeds and improving agricultural services to boost yields from 700 kilograms to 1,200 kilograms per hectare, ensuring sufficient supply for a cotton ginning factory. This program is now being enhanced.
BT cotton tutapiana mbegu ya kutosha.
The government has roped in the private sector to revive the cotton industry. For example, Lamu County is one such collaboration. The private sector purchased cotton worth 3.5 million shillings from Lamu farmers last season. The introduction of BT cotton seeds will help farmers combat pests, reduce production costs, and significantly improve yields.
Na sisi ya Thika Club News tunachukua almost 2 million. So pesa yote is almost 315 million. Pesa ingia hapo pekatoni.
Stakeholders say growing collaboration between the government and the private sector is critical in reviving an industry that had nearly collapsed. The rollout of BT cotton seeds is expected to mark a new chapter for cotton farming in counties like Lamu, positioning them as a key driver in the revival of Kenya's cotton and textile industry. Alan Oko, Lunchtime News.
A quiet but striking protest is unfolding. A 23-year-old woman is hugging a tree hour after hour, not for spectacle, but to draw attention to what she calls the country's deepest wound, corruption. Her action comes as new figures reveal both progress and persistent failures in Kenya's fight against graft. Our report filed by Aaron Marie examines her protest and what it reveals about the state of the nation in terms of corruption. Take a look.
Trendsetter Trofena Muthoni hugged a tree for the environment, and Kenyans are following suit.
Nimekuja hapa ku break record for 74 hours kwa sababu ya corruption ni mingi sana Kenya yetu, na ninaomba serikali ipiganie haki yetu na pia ipiganie at least fight na hiyo corruption. Sijafanya zoezi lakini niko sure nita break hii record.
In Bungoma County, along a busy stretch where trucks rumble past day and night, Florence Onyango stands barefoot, arms wrapped tightly around a tree.
Nilianza saa 7:04 na natarajia by Wednesday nikuwa nimemaliza saa 9 na dakika kidogo juu.
She's 23-year-old from Mbakalo in Tongaren constituency, and she says this tree represents what remains standing in a country weighed down by corruption.
Anataka pia viongozi. Hawa viongozi wabadilike. Vijana ni wengi, kazi hakuna. Watu wamepata madigiri, hawana kazi, wanafanya mjengo, wanafanya mambo ya bodaboda. Serikali inafaa pia iangalie maneno.
Florence has begun what she calls a tree hugger challenge, A planned 74-hour protest meant to spark national reflection on graft, accountability and justice.
Na tunamtakia ya kwamba hii challenge isikuwe tu ya kwamba watu wenye wako kwa serikali waichukulie mzaha. Viongozi, yeye analenga viongozi. Tafadhali, tunataka viongozi wenye wanasimama na kutetea haki ya binadamu.
Her protest has drawn attention and concern. Florence did not inform the police of her action, but residents have stepped in. For many here, her quiet protest speaks louder than slogans. According to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission latest reports, graft continues to manifest through fake academic certificates, fraudulent tenders, bribery, abuse of office, and procurement scandals, both at national and county levels. In the 2024-2025 financial year, the EACC recorded its strongest asset recovery performance to date, among them some 3.4 billion shillings, which were corruptly acquired in assets. Florence hopes that her protest can help tip the balance in the war against graft. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I'm Aaron Marie.
In sports, it's a battle of heavyweights as the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations semi-finals take center stage tonight, with host Morocco playing the Super Eagles of Nigeria, while record champions Egypt will face Senegal at the Tangier Stadium.
A thrilling encounter is set to be witnessed tonight in Morocco as record AFCON champions Egypt lock horns with Senegal in the first semi-final clash of the night. Meetings between the two sides have seen Egypt record 7 victories compared to Senegal's 5, with 3 draws separating them across 15 encounters. Their most recent AFCON meeting came in the 2021 final in Yaoundé, where Senegal claimed their first ever continental title, while Egypt were left heartbroken. Meanwhile, host Morocco take on Nigeria's Super Eagles at the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium in Rabat. Morocco will lean heavily on the form of Brahim Diaz, whose influence and 5 crucial goals have lit up the tournament, alongside captain Ashraf Hakimi. Nigeria boasts of a formidable attacking weapon of Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman.
That's a great ball! Cometh the moment, cometh the big man! Victor Osimhen leaps high and not home to give Nigeria the breakthrough, finally!
The two have a combined 7-goal haul for Nigeria. Osimhen has netted 4, while Lookman has 3. Frederick Mwoki for Lunchtime News.
It will definitely be a contest between Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane, former teammates at Liverpool. They're also actually the same age as well. Manchester City stayed on course for their 9th Carabao Cup when they beat Newcastle United 2-0 in last night's first leg semi-finals at St James Park. New signing Antoine Semenyo was on the score sheet with the first goal in the 53rd minute before substitute Cherki doubled the lead in added time. The two will meet again at the Etihad in the return fixture on the 4th of next month. Meanwhile, the Gunners, Arsenal, will be away to the Blues, Chelsea, in the second semi-final tonight, hoping for a victorious outing. Arsenal are unbeaten in the last 9 outings against Chelsea, winning 6 and drawing 3. On the other hand, the new Chelsea manager, Liam Rossignol, will be going for nothing short of a win when he takes to the Stamford Bridge dugout for the first time after their 5-1 thumping of Charlton in the FA Cup over the weekend. The Blues want to bring back the silverware they won back in the year 2014-2015 season.
It's at the end where the City fans are gathered that have had a great view of it. And Antoine Semenyo back to Ait Nouri, on to Semenyo, into the gap for Cherki. On it goes to Ait Nouri, into the box goes Ait Nouri, and then Cherki! Yes. Ait Nouri back to Cherki. I'm not going to get too carried away.
Sort of loitering at the back end of the garden is Hatto, who has roofed it out of nothing. We needed something special because that was getting dull. Chelsea by the second. Yes! Through Tose and Nankar. Either side of half-time. An awkward, fairly stodgy cup tie. Good corner. Good save. The follow-up's in. Miles Lieber. No clean sheet. What a notte. That'll do. Mark Kiharu. Johnny on the spot. 2-goal lead restored. Didn't shoot. Now he does. Wrong foot up. 4-1. Is it flattering? Probably.
Very well, for sports fan, truly an action-packed evening. Senegal versus Egypt, Arsenal versus Chelsea. You want to wish it was a weekend. Anyway, don't forget our sports desk will be here with those goals, the sights, the sounds, and also the tears. And that's how we wrap it up on KBC Lunchtime News this Wednesday afternoon. Many thanks indeed for joining us. On behalf of everyone who's made this broadcast a success, including my director for the day, Mugo Karaoke, up there. Many thanks indeed for joining us. My name is Njue. Susan Thuku has been my colleague on the sign language interpretation. Do have yourself a fantastic afternoon.
Greetings in the name of the Most High Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice,
we have to do it twice.
Karibu katika makala ya wiki hii tukiwa tayari kujifunza mbinu mbalimbali za kilimo pamoja na teknolojia za kurahisisha mazao.
Mimi naitwa Karen Kanewe.
Naitwa Boniface Mutunga. Karibu.
Leo hii hapa Kakamega tunakutana naye Bifasi anayejihusisha na ufugaji samaki katika vidimbwi. Hapo awali hali ilikuwa si hali tena. Bifasi alipata hasara kubwa sana samaki wake wote walipokufa. Hii ni kutokana na ukosefu wa elimu ya jinsi ya kuwafuga samaki katika vidimbwi. Ila leo hii anajivunia safari ya ufanisi